The following is presented with limited editing. Those interviewed are witnesses to history and deserve to have their stories heard in their entirety.
You know, during the time of that Battle of the Bulge, there was a terrible fog. And they couldn't, the Air Force couldn't operate. They had no air support at all. But when it cleared up, man, I'll tell you, the sky was full of American and English planes. They was really.
They were laying it to them, huh?
You betcha.
Huh. Did that kind of give you and the other men some hope, seeing that they were being bombed out, or was it more scary that you were afraid that they were going to drop one on you?
You always had hope, you know, but you couldn't be sure because you didn't know what those guys were going to do. Yeah, we were liberated by the Scotch Highland Armored Division, and we'd fought with them in Holland. Same outfit we'd fought with liberated us, and you know, seeing those British tanks are coming, you know, then you had a hope, but then what's these guards gonna do? But them guards all took off.
Really?
When they seen them tanks coming, they took off. So,
What was kind of the atmosphere
oh,
around the camp whenever you guys saw them coming?
oh, they were free. Yeah, you know, it was a different attitude altogether.
And what day was that?
Can't tell you.
Sometime it was April, wasn't it?
April 29th.
Okay.
April 29th. Yeah, I was liberated 29th day of April.
So, what is it? You were a prisoner of war for 4.5 months, being marched all around Germany. What is it that gets a man through that? Like,
Oh, just a determination, you know. You know, I'm gonna make it. You know.
I know that you're a man of faith now. Were you at that point?
No,
Really?
no, no, no.
Did you ever think about God or anything like that?
Oh
Throughout the
yes,
process?
oh yes. I'll always believe this, that even though I had no church affiliation whatsoever, that God had his hand on me or I'd never been here. I believe that, you know. Of course, God knew down the road I was going to change,
Yeah.
you know. And but it's not just by luck that I'm here.
Right.
Mm-mm.
He had a purpose for you.
Right.
Huh.
The ride home on the ship, or something, you know, going home. And it's, I watched the Statue of Liberty disappear when I left. And I see it when I come in. And it's a different feeling, you know. I just, you know, you're free.
Imagine freedom carries a little bit more weight with you than some others.
You better believe it. You better believe it.
You good.
And you know, I guess the biggest thing they kept telling us, when you get back to the States, you're going to have a meal like you've never seen before in the military. And they did. They took us to Camp Kilmer, New Jersey. We got off the boat, got on the train, went to Camp Kilmer, New Jersey, and said, "Now you're going to get your first thing you're going to do. You're going to get a meal." And they took us to mess, and I couldn't tell you. There was food that I'd never seen on the Army food line before, you know? And you could eat all you wanted, but you didn't throw nothing away, you know?
Yeah.
And that was quite a thing.
Huh.
And you know, a lot of these veterans has hollered about they weren't treated right when they come home. They didn't do this. They didn't do this. They didn't do that for it. Well, hey, when we landed, there was nobody there but a few dock hands. That's all. Mm-hmm. We got right on formation, got right on a train, went to Camp Kilmer, got our meal. Now you stay in the barracks because you don't want to go to ship out, but you're going back to your to the camp where you was inducted. You're going back and you're going to get a 60-day convalescent furlough. And I never got a chance to call home. I was home knocking on the door before they even knew I was back in the States.
What was that like?
It's unbelievable, you know. They had no idea I was home. They knew I was alive. They knew I'd survived. They knew that, but they didn't know when I was going to get home. But I was home before they ever knew it.
So
and I didn't get a chance to call because they processed us in St. Louis, and I got on a bus and rode out, but it was night.
So tell me about what happened or what it was like whenever they opened the door.
They were surprised when they come to the door. You betcha.
Huh. Did they know that you had been liberated, or did they think?
Oh,
that
yeah.
You, okay.
They knew.
Okay.
Yeah, they knew I'd been liberated.
Okay. All right. Can you tell me about being reassigned down to? You were in Arkansas, wasn't it? You went to a camp in Arkansas after your furlough.
I went to the Army had Majestic and the Arlington hotels. They had them rented for fellows coming back from overseas for reassignment. And we didn't have to have no pass to go any place in Hot Springs, but we were limited to Hot Springs. And You had to go out. The only thing you had to do was look every morning at the board and the hotel you was in to see if you was on shipping orders. And I see these guys have reassigned to the MPs, special service, quartermaster, what have you. And now you're going to think this is odd, but I went out there the morning that Japan surrendered that night. I went out there that morning, and there was my name on the top of the list, reassigned to the infantry at Camp Livingston, Louisiana.
So you were getting ready to go to Japan.
Sure, I went to Japan if the war lasted. You bet you I would have.
Were you back up to 160 pounds yet?
Oh yeah, I gained. They fed us 3 meals and give us a snack in between meals on the boat coming home, and I gained 30 pounds in 21 days.
After the war, what did you do?
What did I do?
Yeah, like
I was home about 2 weeks, and I tired of laying around not doing nothing. And I told my dad, I said, I'm going to go down to St. Louis and sign up and go to barber school. And that's what I did. And all the time I was in service, I was going to be an automobile mechanic when I got out. And whatever got in my mind to be a barber, I can't tell you, but that's the way it all come about. I just got up and went down to Boulder Barber College and signed up, went to school. And I worked at park work curb service outfits. I'd go to barber school from 8 till 4. I'd go back to where I live and change clothes, go there and work till 12 o'clock, go home and maybe study, read a book. I had to learn a lot of things. Study a little while, go to bed, get up, do the same thing the next day. Had 6 months of that.
And then you came back here.
And I came back here, and I said all the time, when I got I had to work out, at that time, barber had to work out 18 months apprenticeship for another barber before you get a license, before you can even take the test to get a license.
Okay.
And I said when I just sold barber, Jake Chapman wanted me to cut my hair when I was a kid, and he wanted me to work for him. And I finally agreed that I'd work out my apprenticeship out here. I said, as soon as I get this thing out, I'm going to go back to the city. I'm not going to stay out here too dull. I fiddled around, got married, business kept getting better. 40 years later, I got out of it, 42 years.
Man, oh man. All right. This last question. What do you think was one of the biggest lessons that you brought back with you from the war, from your service?
To recognize good leadership and follow it. I'd say was the most important thing to me. Whatever you want to do, find somebody that's a good leadership in department and follow their instructions, and you get along all right. To me, that was the biggest thing.